Hey everybody, Mr. Plantt here, and I am going to be your AP Physics 1 teacher this year. Pretty exciting stuff, even though it's in the middle of a lot of craziness and a lot of unknowns. So we're going to navigate all this craziness together, but I thought I'd put a quick video together so that during your first online day, you can just watch this and we can go through the syllabus real quick and then save all that in-person time we have together to just be diving right into labs. So up here at the top of your syllabus, you have my email. Number one best way to get in contact with me, right? Email. We'll be emailing a ton over this year just because of our hybrid schedule, so make sure to use that. The phone, I don't really answer it, so it'll probably go to voicemail. I wouldn't even use it. I would just email me or send me a message on Remind, and I'll talk about Remind here in a little bit. We are going to be in room 204. That's where I'm at for homeroom. It's also where you can pretty much always find me this first quarter. My planning period is second period, so if you ever need, I guess you guys don't really have off blocks in the middle of the day, but if you have questions or something, I can help you out during second period. So what is AP Physics 1? This is a 2-semester laboratory-based advanced placement physics course, yada, 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 right? What we're really looking at is you don't need any physics experience before taking this class, and we're going to be learning all about how to analyze the world around us in a physical sense, right? How do we explain how things move? How can we predict how they move? How can we explain how energy works and how all these things interact with each other? Very much a Newtonian physics, so that really just means big and slow. We also have some big ideas that the AP College Board sets out that we're going to cover. So I'll go over these real quick because they'll give you the best overarching idea of what this class is about. So objects and systems have properties such as mass and charge. Systems may have internal structure. Fields existing in space can be used to explain interactions, like gravity. The interactions of an object with other objects can be described by forces. Interactions between systems can result in changes in those systems. Changes that occur as a result of interactions are constrained by conservation laws. Waves can transfer energy and momentum from one location to another without the permanent transfer of mass and serve as a mathematical model to describe another phenomena. That might not mean a lot to you right now. The big takeaway from that is we're going to look at how things move and how they interact with each other and figure out a good scientific and mathematical way of explaining them. We're going to do this through a lot of hands-on labs as much as I can this year. This year is going to be kind of weird, and so we're going to have to play it a little bit by ear, but I'm going to try to do as much hands-on stuff as I can. We have a small class this year, so it should be a little bit easier for us. Credit-wise, this is a full year course, lab-based. If you're thinking about what colleges want, they want science. For science, they want lab-based classes. It's a lab-based class. It is AP, so it's weighted on a 5.0 scale as long as you get a C or better. The prerequisites, which are kind of loose, you don't really need them necessarily, but you should be either in geometry or have completed geometry. If not, then there might be some times where the math gets a little bit crazy, but I can help you through it. It's nothing that I haven't dealt with before. We do have a textbook that you probably won't see very much, called College Physics, A Strategic Approach. Actually written, one of the authors is a professor at CSU in Fort Collins. It's a really good textbook, but we don't have enough for every kid, so I usually just take things out of it and make photocopies or make my own worksheets. So you don't need to go buy it unless you really, really want to, but I wouldn't even. If you really want one, I can probably check a couple out, so not a big deal. What you will need for this class, you're going to need a notebook. In AP Physics, I'm not super crazy about setting it up super specifically. It just needs to be in chronological and keep track of all your notes and assignments in order. If you're in Avid, you might set it up differently so that it meets your Avid requirements, and I can help you with that as needed. You need a scientific calculator, right? It does not need to be a graphing calculator, but a scientific calculator is good. I sent an email out to all of you guys with a link to what I've used since college. It's like a $12 calculator, but it's reliable. You never need to put batteries in it. It has a little, I can't think of the word, solar panel that will charge the battery. So yeah, gotta have a calculator every day. I can't give them out. You can't share them with each other. You can't use your phone. You need a calculator. So much so that we'll have calculator quizzes where you'll get free points just by showing me you have a calculator. Okay. You need pens or pencils. It's recommended that you have colored pencils. I do all my notes in color, sometimes for a reason, sometimes because it looks pretty. So, but it helps with, you'll quickly see as we start on stuff that our notes can get really jumbled, and it makes it easier to read if you can kind of separate them out by color. And then lots of tacos. Tacos are awesome, and you can never have too many tacos. Technical requirements, access to a computer. You should be bringing that computer or Chromebook that you either checked out or own yourself. Bring it every day. We'll have times where we can do online simulations and stuff like that. So you need internet access, obviously, for the days you're not in person, and Wednesdays when we're all online. Something to read PDFs, so like Acrobat Reader, Java, Flash, those types of things. Those are for more than PDFs, but just keep your computer up to date. A word processor, either Microsoft Word or Google Docs works really well. Data processor like Excel or Google Sheets. So you should have all that Google stuff just through your school account. And then an email address, which you already have. And then a cell phone can be really nice for Remind, which is an app that you can just text me, essentially, and I can text you back and send messages out to our whole class. Yeah, we'll go over it more later. But yeah, grading scale is pretty straightforward. I generally do kind of like a 50-50 split. It might be a 60-40 split sometimes, but it hovers right around 50-50, where half is kind of your quizzes, half is all your other work. So like labs, projects, stuff like that. So homework in that part is really, really, really small, right? That's like, yeah, it's not very much. We will have homework. This class is all about practice. I cannot stress that enough. If you want to be successful, you got to practice physics. You got to just put the reps in and practice, practice, practice. So I'll give you lots of stuff and things where you can find other practice. But yeah, the grading's pretty straightforward because it's a 5.0. An A is a 5.0, a B is a 4.0, a C is a 3.0, but a D is a 1.0. So it's real important to get that C or above, which is, as long as you're showing up and doing your work, it's pretty straightforward to get a C. It's very hard to get an A. I'll be real with you guys, right? It's a easy class to get a C as long as you're here every day. It's a hard class to get an A in. Okay. The AP exam. Last year it got kind of weird. They cut off parts of the units, so I'm kind of restructuring. So if they cut off units again, we'll be ready. But if everything goes as planned, it will be Wednesday, May 5th. And there's a late test available May 20th if needed. The test is 2 sections. Each of them are an hour and a half, 90 minutes. So you have multiple choice section, right? Or you'll be using math throughout all of them. And then you'll have so a 50 multiple choice question section that covers the entire range of content from AP Physics 1. And then you will have a free response section where you have 5 written response questions. Okay, last year it was just 2 written response questions was the whole test. So it's a little up in the air, not a big deal. Normally I highly encourage everyone to take the exam. With things being weird this year, you can opt out of the test for no cost at any point. So I would sign up for it, and if things get weird and there's like outside circumstances, we can talk about it, and you can always back out for no cost this year because of all the weird coronavirus stuff going on. But yeah, we'll worry about more of that stuff later. Okay, you can get college credit for passing the exam for an algebra-based AP course. Some colleges just like to see that you took the class and attempted the course. They don't even care about the score, especially if you guys are going on to do anything with a science-related degree. You're probably going to have to take calculus-based physics, but this is going to prepare you so much for that class. It'll be unreal. When I was at Mines, I started at Mines for college. I had taken AP Physics, and just by having that, I had to retake physics still. I was leaps and bounds ahead of some of the kids who have never taken physics, which you'd think at Mines, everyone's taken it, but they haven't. And so you got to be preparing, and this is a great way to prepare for that. The cost of the exam is about $100, $94. If you qualify for free or reduced lunch, $0. If there's issues with paying for the test, let me know. We can get something figured out. All right, I'm never gonna, if I have to go stand outside of King Soopers and raise $94 for you, I will. I don't want that to be what prevents you from taking the test. Okay. There are two people to contact with any of your AP questions. The first is our assistant principal, Miss Zuloff. And there's our phone number and email. And then the second is Mr. Armstrong, who's one of the AP coordinators. And he is also an AP Physics teacher. He's taught AP Physics 1 a lot in the past. He teaches AP Physics 2 this year. He can be a great resource, and you guys will probably get to know him just because we do a lot together. Okay. So course schedule and requirements, you can expect a big combination of lecture, practice, and experiments. With this year, our in-person time, I'm going to try to keep to as much hands-on experiments as we can and leave some of the notes and practice for when we're online. It won't be perfect, but that's generally the type of thing I'm going to aim for. The 2 exams can go up and down. We'll see. There's going to be lots of quizzes. I try to lend more towards let's do lots of little quizzes than one big exam. And that way we can be retaking them and showing proficiency as we go through. I care much more that you learn it than you know it that first time you take the quiz. So you bomb a quiz, not a big deal. We can retake it, we can correct it, we can do things for you to show me you understand the material, but you do have to put the work in to understand the material. A couple of websites you're going to be using. Schoology is going to be your home base for everything, right? Go to Schoology. I'll have all of the lessons that we do every week on there. So if you ever miss a day or whatever, everything's up there. AP Classroom has a ton of, it's where you'll go to sign up for the AP test and all of that. And they have a ton of materials for you guys to help review and practice and videos and all sorts of stuff. And then PhET is a website out of CU Boulder. Lots of simulations. So when we can't do hands-on experiments, we can be doing simulations to at least get kind of close to it. Okay. Here is our topic outline. Now, it's going to go pretty quick, but in general, what I have set out is that we have first week is kind of like a welcome week and start getting into motion. We'll go into kinematics, acceleration, and free fall. We'll talk about vectors, Newton's laws, friction, and centripetal force, and we might even leave centripetal force off, and projectile motion. And that will be this first semester, so for you guys this first quarter. Now, I had to cut out some stuff from there, so I'm trying to get to it back at the end of the year, but if we can't get to it, I'm going to assign some stuff, some optional stuff to where if you want to take the AP test really seriously, you can go through that online stuff. We'll talk more about that in person, but just realize that we're kind of dealing with not enough time this year. I can't get through everything this year. So I'm going to try, but know that I'm leaving some, especially circuits and waves, till the end, so that if the AP or if College Board decides to cut something off, it'll likely be circuits and waves. That's what they did last year. So we'll leave that till the end. So if they do cut it off, great. What's also nice is both of those things, circuits and waves, are kind of standalone units. Everything else is related to each other. These things we can pull out and put in wherever we need to. So we'll get through them if we can. If not, I'll provide you guys all the stuff you would need to get ready for that exam. And this time period is really, really rough, right? As you guys do good or struggle with things, I change the time so that we have enough practice. Oh my gosh, I gotta hurry up. I'm talking too much. Attendance, make it work. Show up to class every day. If you can. If you're sick, stay home. Be in contact with me to be checking Schoology for things you missed. You are responsible for doing the work even if you're not in class. So really make sure you're talking to me about what you need to make up and how to make it up. I will make a plan with you based off what you miss and how to make it up. So yeah, just talk with me. Late work, again, you can do it 1 week after the due date for full credit. That's a school-wide policy this year. With coronavirus stuff going on, because you might have to be working or taking care of siblings or taking care of a family member that's sick, and we get it, so we're trying to give you some flexibility there. I care much more that you get it done and you learn than you do it on a strict timeline. So make sure you get it done. When you start not turning in assignments, that's when I start hounding you and trying to figure out what's going on. Okay. If you turn it in really, really late, you might be docked 10% or even up to 50%, but in general, again, I care more that you just get it done. You can read through some of these additional expectations The big ones are you're going to be given an assigned seat. You have to sit in it. You have to wear a mask while you're in class, pretty much the whole time you're at school. Food, drink, don't bring it to class. A drink, you could have a sealable, something like a water bottle with a lid. That's fine. Yeah, but really just read through those and let me know what I can do to help you guys and answer any questions. At the bottom here, you can see how to sign up for Remind. You can either download the app and then use the code GWHSAPP1, AP Physics 1, or you can just text at GWHSAPP1 to the number 81010 and follow through that process to get signed up on Remind. Our first Wednesday, I'll probably check in with everyone and make sure we're all on Remind, but it's a really, really good app that just lets me send a message to everybody all at once, and then if you guys have questions, you can send them directly to me, and I can get back to you right away. My class last year used it a lot, and it was really, really good, especially when we went online. People could be like, hey, is there time to talk? And we could get into a Zoom call or a Google video or whatever. All right, that pretty much wraps this up, guys. You will have a couple questions to answer on Schoology. For your, I guess I should add this, right? When you're online, on those online days, assignments like this where you watch a video and then plug something into Schoology and say you watched it, that's how I'm going to be able to take attendance. I don't want to do synchronous stuff, so I don't want you watching the lecture while I'm teaching in person and you're at home. I'd rather you use that time to do practice problems and worksheets and videos. So I need a way to see that you're quote unquote here that day. So it'll be turning things in on Schoology. I'll go over it with you guys during your in-person days as well, but just keep that in mind. So after watching this, go to Schoology. There's an assignment there just to answer a couple questions. Answer them, submit, and you will be good to go. I'm really excited for this year, and I know that it's crazy and stressful. So just make sure you're talking to me lots, and we will get through this craziness together. All right, guys. See you later. Bye-bye.